what we'll have to do is this requires setting a public hearing. And the next public hearing is one stop. Is that the railroad station? Right. Yeah. They, I think they're
Is that
open.
the Valero or the one stop down at 21 and 82?
It's
No, it's the old Valero.
Somebody bought it out. Are they open for? They're not serving. Yeah, but they're open, no, that's all I've asked. Yeah, they, so the next public hearing, I think will be June 4th. That correct? Yeah. So that's the public hearing date for June 4th.
Says 18th of this page in Virginia.
Because you have to put it in the paper too.
Okay.
It's got to run 2 sections in the paper, correct?
So it will be June 18th in public. Okay. Let's see, gets you in your foot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can y'all get that in your foot? That's main. I get work, you get the editor of that thing, you don't know what's.
These thoughts.
Now, I don't like turn down money, but
Okay.
if I lay down, you think that
And 6, and it's
The next item on the agenda is resolution 2405-001, and that's setting up a weed and debris abatement public hearing for July 2nd, 2024. And I think this is to deal with this that we was provided at last month's meeting. Then we have resolution 2405-002-2025, which is the TAP application for sidewalks. And this TAP application, it was brought up about the traffic that's going on between Weststone Street and Agricultural Drive. And if we apply for this application, which, they have all of the required paperwork, then it would go down the right side of South Alabama Avenue and connect Weststone Street to Agricultural Drive, which will also pick up the walking traffic going to Gate 3 gas. So, yeah, I don't know, presented to the council to see what this doing. I mean, there's no need for no walking traffic there. I mean, I understand the gate situation, but that's it. There's no residents, there's no circle around, there's no, I mean, that's just wide open highway down there. This is going to be part of the 3-phase project that eventually would take it on down to Walmart. No, I don't know, that was one.
No. There is quite a bit of foot traffic that people walking in the edge of the road from Walmart.
Give it Michael something else to maintain. That somebody else get it over on the sidewalk. Maybe you can fly and be there, that ain't. Where are they walking to?
Several are going to Gate.
I understand that other than some, but they cut out a lot of.
There's quite a few that
Personnel that they had working.
quite a few travel to Walmart to shop, and they come back toting their stuff, and they're walking in the edge of the highway.
It also addresses the issue with the shoulder going through it.
Yes, we got the drainage issues there in front of Winn-Dixie parking lot. Of course, the thing about that drainage though is either it's gonna be, I talked with the state. And it's gonna be on the property owner, because the state right away actually stops right behind the curve of that turning lane. And, but if the property owner will give us the right of way to put a sidewalk in, the drainage issue will be fixed during that time.
There's a lady from Canterbury that walks to Walmart.
Yeah, one person, but she goes down, south, on better than most times.
There's a lot of foot traffic through there. I've seen it.
Directly, I made the decision this council meeting because the application is due, is it May 31st?
May 31st.
Our next item on the agenda would be the hiring of a police department patrolman, new hire, Kathleen Phillips, 18.32 per hour. And we also, have to address the Trustmark National Bank Economic Development Loan refinancing the payoff. And Ms. Simmons is here, to assist with the recommendation from Ms. Smith that we pay the loan off.
Yes, sir.
And you check the bank statement.
Yes, I enclosed the bank balances for the past 3 fiscal years, along with the budget that we've done for the past 3 years and compared the two.
And you took into account projects like paving and sidewalks that haven't been paid yet.
Not really, basically, it's just on what we've budgeted, and I'm assuming that we would have budgeted for those projects each year. If future wise, I do not know, but as of now, I mean, what we've been budgeting the past 3 years compared to what our bank balance has been increasing, I feel like we could afford to pay it off.
Simmons, does that affect? But we made one payment already, so if we go through it, it would actually be a little less than.
It would be the balance that I've given you, which is, and it's accrued a little bit in interest since then. So the balance as of today is $516,732.18.
I'd like to see us pay it off, put it behind us.
Shop, interest rates. We had a shop interest rate, but I think the last interest rate that you did me,
It was 6.7.
6.7%. Take some on reserve and put towards this, and we don't have to pay that reserve. You got budget to pay these payments. Pay and pay. But the loan that matured, so we will have to go back and redo the loan. And if I remember correctly, the attorney said it would cost roughly $1,000 to do.
1,000 to 1,200 is what the attorney would charge.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then I didn't bring the other paperwork, but it would be for a term of
7 years
7 years.
to continue at the current payments. When it was originally done, the agreement was to pay off as of April 1st of this year.
And 7 years would zero it out, or would there still be a balloon?
It was zero.
Zero.
This is not a tax exempt. When it originally started, it was tax exempt. But if you remember, I don't know if it was about halfway through, something happened and we had to change it to a non-tax exempt.
So the problem, the less you had in this ordinance,
Right.
yeah. The next item we have on the agenda would be the goods control and mosquito management service contract. which is pretty much a standard contract that we've always entered into from the speed assessment of services. And the total on that is $12,450. The bill pest control contract. And then we have the Monroeville Symphony Orchestra contract. Which will be approved from the council, and that contract increased about $3,000.
Yes, the additional amount for $3,000 is for the transportation costs.
Transportation costs on that part. We need to, where do we stand on that? I know this will be coming into next year on the budget. Do we need to look at including that $3,000 in the budget at this point? Do I need to sign the contract?
Well, that's part of it. The main thing is if we include that in what the city, if the city pays for that portion of it, along with what they already do, that would probably help. Cause, we just paid it off last year. Being the fiscal agent with the city.
Then we have in the discussion of fire department salary rate. Which basically is, I don't understand it, it's about $10,000 more than.
If we stay current, then all this is average, it's based on our past 16 pay periods. Then if we continued on through the year like we currently are, my budget would have roughly $3,300 left in salaries at the end of the year, end of the fiscal year. To do the raises that was, brought up, now let me keep me straight on this, would make an additional $8,1674 on the city on salary and $745 in retirement. And that's figured in all your insurance and everything, I believe is correct. But we wasn't sure about overtime, because our overtime varies on call volume. So I took an overtime average of the past 16 pay periods, and it's roughly 3 hours extra overtime, per firefighter. Some more than that, some less, so it kind of works out a 3 hour average. So the total on that, with everything included, would be $14,162. And if you subtracted our 3,300 off of that, it would be coming up to the whatever amount that is. To get us through the end of this week.
So give or take about 11,000 over budget.
And, maybe a bit less than that, it's all gonna depend on call volume and if we have to do those slots with overtime, so.
Okay. Well, I think we're probably close to the same situation with firefighters, police officers. The decision for the council is to not approve those. And as of right now, though, Chief, you are for the staff. That's right. So you have one that is in the academy. We can't.
And that's one thing we didn't take into account. That when he graduates, he'll actually get an increase, but he won't graduate until late August. So we only have about a month of him being at full firefighter pay. So he's still in the free pay.
You look at any additional raises besides the ones we just doing now in this police and fire. That was, as we went through to do the budget, coming up in the next budget. Yeah, but I mean, if we already discussed anything as far as any percentage raises or either step raises or anything else in next year. But we committed to doing anything with the side here. Is this gonna be able to carry us these paid amounts and we carry us next year?
Is it, are you asking, is it time to do a step increase?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We've already, last year we did a 10% and then we turn around and doing this. I mean, I'm fine with raising, but I'm saying are we gonna turn around and look at more?
Well,
Than in next year's budget.
with them, with police officers and firefighters, the way I recall it is that these raises would carry into next year. And then we would look at the other city employees. This is the way I recall the discussion we had. So, you know, it would, that's why we need to work on this next year's budget. And, so, you know, we'll go through and, work on addressing that issue. In next year, especially in next year's budget. And see where it goes from there. The fire department, self-contained breathing apparatus financing. And Chief, I think you brought this up in the last, council meeting. And the issue was as to whether or not to go back and see if we could, make a short-term loan in order to purchase this finance.
Yes, the SCBA's, if we don't purchase in the month of May, are $298,000 some odd dollars, and ours are 2 cycles out, and they've discontinued parts for them. And, so this would get us up to the new standards. And if we purchase in the month of May, we can save $58,600. So we've got to give them a signed purchase order before June 1st. We would not have to pay for them until we receive it, which would be sometime in July. And then, you know, if we didn't have the money in reserves or whatever to be able to purchase and make that purchase, I did reach out to a local bank to see if we borrowed that money to get us through the fiscal year. And just one of the amounts they put out was like 5.45 fixed rate, non-taxable. But we'll have to put that out for bids. And that amount would be
240.
it was 230 something thousand. I didn't make a sheet though, but it's 58,600 and some odd dollars savings.
And the alcohol committee investigative report, basically what it comes down to is that to give members of the alcohol review committee the authority to go out and investigate any complaints, issues surrounding, our alcohol ordinance. And it's kind of like what the council did for me when I served in the then we can go through the call on any complaints or anything of that nature that is we also have the public works we have temporary full-time Mr. Quincy Tate at 10.95 an hour. They need slide. So, I think we got this out. And the next item on the agenda is community house power repair. We had another incident that happened down there this week, with all of the power on the east end.
Yeah,
Went out.
it went from the stage all the way back. It was loud. And what had happened is back there downstairs is the original panel. 3-phase panel. The main breaker has actually got, contacts inside. And those contacts got so hot that that's what cut the power. And as it started cooling down, some of the power started coming back on. Well, they cannot get that no more. Gonna have to change out that whole panel back there. And there's some good news and bad news. It's only gonna cost like $6,535 to fix, but it's gonna be 2 months before we can get a panel. Now, I talked to electricians and they said that they checked in Mobile, Stewart, all the electrical companies, and all of them telling the same thing. It's gonna be at least 2 months. 50 working days with most of them. But now, the thing about it, if it goes out again, we may not be able to get back going. So, that means we may have to shut the entire thing.
I want to say, we start in his, industrial.
Yes, he talked with some down in Mobile, and around and trying to find, he said that they even looked at trying to find one that's been remanufactured, one, the old style.
What I'm asking is like Arian and Gates and,
I
Alvin
don't
River,
know.
they may have a spare and inventory of this.
I can get with them tomorrow, if y'all approve going ahead and get this work done. But it's gonna have to be done. And now, one thing about it, he did tell me now that, you know, it's just like the last time when all this power went out. We thought we had the problem fixed. But you know, it wasn't, so, but this right here is the main problem right now. But all the rest of that stuff in that community house is old. So, you know, something else could pop up.
It's older than me.
You know, I talked to different electricians and, Bubba Hoover told me that, it could show itself somewhere else and he actually find the actual problem. But with this right here, this old panel, because this one still got the bus bar in it, and some of that stuff hooked up on that bus bar. So,
We need to let our renters for the next 2 months know that there's a possibility of electrical issues.
The big one, man.
and it could go out. Now, one thing he did tell me that, you know, they had some amps and stuff hooked up Saturday night. And now they don't pull as much electricity as the old man. But still, with that, all of that being so weak, that, you know, that could have been what really caused the total out. That thing just weak and they had all that stuff plugged up and it was just using too much current. So, I know Monday morning, whenever I talked to him early Monday morning, he told me going over there and put everything on in that building he can. So whenever he gets there, you know, things will be kind of heated up. And it really wasn't, it didn't get that hot Monday. That's what all the air conditioners and stuff run. But he said the more, as long as you run it, the more load you put on it, it's gonna burn it up. So if y'all give me the go ahead now, you know, and two, you know, we got a quote here on this at $6,535, but now there could be a little more cost incurred on it. So if y'all give me the go ahead, I can get with him in the morning, he can get with Gate Precast or Harry or somebody and see.
It's industrial application where
Yeah.
a panel, breaker box panel, something like that. I told him, I said, well, Harry probably just tore out in this new addition, that he put in the dump. And probably some of these very things we could use. But,
And it's all 3 phase.
see where all that stuff is, that's not normal in an application.
So what, we want to approve the purchase of the panel contingent as to whether or not we can find a replacement.
Well, if he has, if he can find a replacement breaker and all, we can try that for right now. But, you know, sooner or later, the whole panel's gonna have to be replaced anyway. So it's really outdated. Honestly, I don't know if it even passed code. That'd be something for somebody else, but.
Okay, that's everything I got except for the, working scholarship. You do that before we go to the council meeting after. So I think that'd be a good time. We have everybody. All right. Councilman Booth, you got anything?
No, sir.
Councilman. Steve Black.
No, sir.
Mike.
We got the pipe in for the golf drive and they started working on it yesterday, so hopefully this week, the road will be shut down all week, but hopefully they get through it this week. And hopefully next week there'll be some pavement going on the ground. They got the roads ready. So,
Rain, so, yeah.
Steve Armstrong. Ms. Brew. Tim.
No, sir.
Ms. Smith.
Yes.
All right, then. Let's see. Public hearing is at what time? 4:55. So we got 5 minutes.
I'm not sure. Maybe it not, and it's yours still out. That's even, that's on the mine, next bit.